What's up, HenryBlitzFam? Today, we are going to make a tier list of characters in Streetball Allstar per position. Before everything else, these are purely my opinion on these characters based on their skill set and considering other factors such as how they effectively play or even go beyond their role or position. This doesn't mean that the characters above the list will always guarantee you wins, and that those characters in the bottom of the list are to be avoided totally. We need to recognize the fact that specific lineups may have good synergy even though the characters are not that good enough individually. For now, though, the basis of these rankings is on their individual gameplay and skill set in general and broad terms. First, let's start with the PG role. Let's first define each tier to serve as a basis on how these characters should be ranked. We have the ACE tier. Here, I will only put one character which I think is the best in every position. You can refer to it as the cheat code character because it goes way beyond what characters in this position normally does and is an effective two-way player offensively and defensively. Characters under this tier need significant nerf, I think, to balance the game as there are none to little ways to counter their gameplay and skills, even at higher tier. Meanwhile, characters under the S tier are the meta characters that, apart from the ACE characters, are normally seen in higher yellow gameplays. Simply stated, they are generally the most effective agreed-upon characters to be used in competitive environment as they have superior skill set. These characters are simply the best on what they do as compared with the other characters on their respective position. They are, at the very least, the standards of their role, and some of them are even higher enough to warrant them some necessary nerfs to balance them. We also have the A tier, which consists of characters that are a good backup from the meta characters when they are banned or you just don't have them at all. These characters have decent gameplay, especially when maximized. These are also good against players who do not know how to counter meta characters and gameplays, as you can surprise them with these picks. Overall, though, these characters are way more predictable and their effectivity may diminish as the game progresses or as you go in higher ranks. Next, we have the B tier characters, or so-called this-can-do characters. These are characters that are outshined by a lot more other characters, but can still be good in specific setups and if used properly. You rarely see these characters being played in higher yellow, but they can be surprisingly useful when used properly. Lastly, we have the C-tier characters, or those that you simply want to avoid because there are better characters that you can use. These characters need revamp or significant buffs, I think, to be included in the competitive landscape because they are easier to counter, have poor skill synergy with other players generally, and just not that versatile at all. Still, these could be good characters when in good hands, but they are just really outshined generally speaking. So, now that we have defined each tier, let's get started with ranking each of these PG players. First, we have Albert. I am placing Albert in the A tier. If he is used right, he can be an ISO player that can do easy smart layups. What you want to team up with as an Albert is a good shooter and a good big screener. You can go for a smart layup if the enemy's big fills in against your shooter because you are in an advantage of not being blocked that much as you are being guarded by their PG. Meanwhile, if their big tries to cover you, you can always pass to your shooter that can score with proper place set up both by your shooter and the big that screens. What's more, his specific pass skill gives decent assist and good playmaking for shooters as it boosts their shooting accuracy. However, Albert can be ineffective when teaming up with dunkers or countered by zone defense gameplays, which wears off his effectivity in higher competitive gameplays. Still, he is a good backup PG, so he is at this tier. Next in line, we have Becky. Becky is an abomination type of character and is so much overpowered based on my opinion, so I am placing her in the ACE tier. Her dive skill alone made her outclass all other PGs except Yui, especially when combined with firefighter affix. She can dive further and higher, and with that, she can almost always guarantee to get loose balls, even those right after blocked shots. Her kit doesn't end there as she also has sprint block, which allows her to dash and attempt to steal, and even if she fails to steal, accuracy has now decreased. However, what's very OP of this PG is her unique level 4 off-ball acceleration that she can utilize both offensively and defensively, making her a really good two-way character. She can take advantage of her speed and ally screens to separate herself and go for an open shot or fill in and dive for loose ball faster with his off-ball acceleration. She is such a very versatile playmaker, shooter, and most especially, solid defender. So what else do you need? Now, we have Boa, which we will place in the A tier above Albert. Unlike Albert, Boa can be a more versatile PG because she has a very unique diving steal and upswing that makes her a very good defensive player. She also has offensive option of drift shot and a great utility of level 4 pinpoint pass. Overall, I love Boa's kit, especially her unique skill of diving steal, which is primarily used to steal the ball more successfully, decrease the enemy's shooting accuracy, and even fill in defensively. This makes the enemy's shot disturbed even if they thought at first that they will have a wide-open shot. Still, she is still rarely used in higher yellow because she has few offensive options, and her diving steal can even be a disadvantage if you accidentally left your guard open because of a failed diving steal. Next we have Jackie. I would place Jackie in the B tier. He is more of a shooter type of PG with a deep range and an insane three-point shooting, especially with his level 4 fadeaway 3 and disturbance mastery. He is also decent in defense because he can stand up after an ankle break with speed boost. I personally see him every once in a while in higher ranks to sneak some threes, especially when combined with good center screeners such as Robbie, Lon, and Andrew, and good dunker screeners like Zachary and Edward. However, I still think that he has limited kit. Aside from shooting, he adds no value to the team. He has no pinpoint pass and only slight utility skills, and you can go for better SGs like Fire King if you want to go for shooting. Let's go now for Justin. I will be placing him in the bottom C tier. To be fair, he sure is a fun character to play. He has level 4 feint dribble skill that allows him to ankle break defenders and have a boost on shooting. Speaking of shooting, he has a unique turnback shoot that is harder to time because its animation makes it more difficult to know when he is actually shooting it. Combine this with faking shots every once in a while, and he should be more unpredictable. However, his skill set is a lot more predictable in higher ranks, and he is a lot easier to counter. He also have proactive intercept, but Nico has a better LVL4 skill. He also doesn't have additional utility skills, and don't even have pinpoint pass, which is why I think he needs more revamping of skills and buffs to compete with other PGs. We also have here Lily. I am placing Lily in the B tier, just above Jackie. Lily is a versatile PG, as she doesn't just shoot with her level 4 drifting shot. She provides good utility to her teammates as well. First off, her no-ball sprint makes her opponent's ankle break, taking advantage of open, unguarded shots. She is also insanely good with her screening because she has a skillful screen like Emma and has a unique level 4 block and cover skill, which gives him massive screen range and creates a special screen behind her where her ally shooter can shoot without any disturbance at all. She sure is a good utility when teamed up with shooters, but with the rise of high-range blockers like Emily, Malik, Lon, among others, this setup can be easily countered. What's worse, she has no pinpoint pass, reducing her team utility. Next up, we have May. I will be placing May in the same B tier, just above Lily. May is more of a shooter type of PG with her level 4 quick shot. However, the reason I prefer May over Lily and Jackie is the fact that May has a level 4 pinpoint shot and even perfect catch. If you may not know yet, perfect catch allows her to catch the ball even from passers farther away from her, meaning you will always receive long passes even if they don't have long passes, so that's a good way to prevent turnovers. Even if she is not as useful as other PGs, so she should stay here. At this part, we will rate Emochin. Now Emochin is more like a combination of Lily, Albert, and May, so I am placing him in the B tier, just above Albert, but below Boa. His basic combo is to no-ball sprint to ankle break enemies and go for an open level 4 flash shot if they fell on their knees or you were just open. Apart from that, he has Albert's specific pass that goes up to level 4 for an additional 15% shooting accuracy, May's perfect catch, and a pinpoint pass, which, overall, gives him good shooting and perfect playmaking. However, other PGs still outshine her, so I am placing her just short of Boa. Now let's go with one of the most OG PGs in this game, Nana. I would place her in the S tier back when we don't have Becky and Yasmin. She is one of the most top picks in higher ranks, and even now, she has a space in the meta. If you are a Nana main or uses her casually, I hope you have got her anniversary limited edition skin because that sure is very worth of every penny with such a beautiful skin. Anyways, with Nana's level 4 pinpoint pass and level 4 drifting shot, she sure is a good shooter and utility for the team, so she deserves a spot up there. Coming right up, we have Nico, which I will be placing just above Nana. While she may not be a good shooter like Nana, she sure has better utility apart from the pinpoint pass. Nico has a unique level 4 quick steal skill, which gives a 40% increased success rate on steals that are so quick you can spam them. She also has level 4 proactive intercept, which allows her to intercept enemies' passes. What more can I say? She is such an absolute monster in defense, and their shooter is forced to make plays because passing back to their PG is risky with Nico guarding. Without Yasmin and Becky, she should be a go-to PG, the best one if you are F2P in this game. Now we have Rex. I would be placing Rex in the bottom tier, even below Justin. I don't think he deserves to be a time-limited character because he was a massive downgrade from Becky and Yasmin. To begin with, his confidence boost skill might give him buff when shooting behind screens, but that effect is negligible and I would rather have more useful skills. His high lob pass does not compensate for his absence of pinpoint pass and will surely slow down fast-paced gameplays. There is an attempt to make him more of a defensive PG, such as giving him swift help defense skill, but he is just not that good nevertheless. He may be good with specific setups, but generally, don't spend anything with him. Next, we have Takumi. As much as I love him fancy streetball dribbling playstyle, I am placing him in the bottom tier, just below Rex. Takumi is fun to play, even way more fun than Justin, with his unique crossover, behind the back dribble like Susan, level 4 fancy step back, and level 4 inspire. However, he can be easily countered by big blockers. He also has no defensive skill unlike Rex, and has no utility skills such as pinpoint pass, which makes it worse for him. Now, for my most bottom ranking, we have White, unfortunately. Personally, I don't want to place White here, simply because my former OG clubmate used to play White and we have run wins with him. If you know Kuriko, White's level 4 flash shot is quite similar with his passes. I saw some good setups with this skill, especially when combined with Alan and any shooter with good flash shots such as Camel. The play should go with Camel passing to Alan. Then Alan will flash pass to White just before receiving the ball, and then White will flash pass to Camel, which will go for a flash shot. This coordinated combo is harder to predict, especially if done less frequently to make it unpredictable. He also has a good level 4 intercepting pass that allows him to have a chance to intercept passes and immediately pass it to a teammate. Nevertheless, the flash combo is not sustainable as it can be easier to counter in higher ranks and as the game progresses. Proactive intercept is also better as compared with intercepting pass, so I would say he is just almost as useless of a PG. I really hope that the devs should buff him because he is a character inspired from a good character. Next in line, we have Yasmin. Personally, I level her as a cheat code, same as with Becky, but there should only be one at the top. I would place her just short of Becky, but still the best PG apart from Becky. Just like Albert and Emochin, she has a specific pass where she can choose to who she would pass the ball, grabbing open opportunities when they come. She also has a sever, similar with Emily, which is a good defensive skill as it is an enhanced steal from below. But what separates her from other PG is her full power sprint. It allows her to dash to either respond and fill in defensively, or to have an advantage on diving battles for loose balls. What's more, after a stack of 3, the whole team gains the high morale status, which grants increased shooting accuracy and speed for the team. It gets even better because she has a level 4 hop step jumper. Combine it with the high morale, and you should be nailing orange contested shots at an 80% hit rate. That's how insane she is. What made her below Becky, though, for me, is Becky's superior filling in on defense with her level 4 off-ball acceleration and Becky's better dive skill. Becky can still be good as well in offense by separating herself with her acceleration for an open shot. Nevertheless, Yasmin is still better offensive-wise. At the end of the day, it's up to your gameplay style and teammate synergy. In summary, Becky for better dive and defense while Yasmin for better utility and offense. Last but surely not the least, we have Yui. I will be placing her below Nana. Just like Becky, he has a superior level 4 rolling save skill that allows her to have advantage over other PGs, which makes her relevant in the meta up until now. She is even better when teamed up with shooters with her level 4 alley-oop shot. However, I feel like her utility is limited to that. Nico is still a better pick defensively and Nana offensively. She might be even above Nana for setups that are reliant on dunkers and shooters as your offensive power since Yui provides better utility than Nana. Again, these are just my personal take and rating based on their own skill set alone. It will always depend on the team setup that you have and the way that you use it. Having characters in the top tiers will not guarantee you wins, but they should at least help you create strategic gameplays since they are currently the most effective ones to play, generally. Let me know in the comments below if you think some characters are not fairly ranked or if you have other suggestions and even corrections. As usual, thank you for watching and consider subscribing if you haven't yet. My IGNs and other socials are in the description box below as well. You can also find SBA's official platforms below, so feel free to check them. HenryBlitz here, signing off.